Phantasm, the delusion of a disordered mind, a phantom, a spirit, a ghost.
This film fucking sucks. Because it's fucking boring. The story goes fucking nowhere. The ending is completely anticlimactic. It literally is a story that is going nowhere, and you have a good feeling that the people making this film do not know what the fuck they're doing, and the fact that the writer, Don Coscarelli, I respect him as a writer-director. At the same time, it really does feel like he doesn't know where the hell this story is going, where the hell this story was intended to go. It really feels like a movie that is going nowhere, that is stuck going around in fucking circles. Now, right off the bat, if you're a fan of this movie, be my guest, that's fine. Gets a 5.4 on IMDb. I'm sorry. I disagree with that. That's too high. 5.4 on IMDb, I'm sorry. There are much better films, much more entertaining films, much more of a film that get lower ratings than this. So I disagree with that. And this film, I like Phantasm. Phantasm 2 is my favorite. I really do like Phantasm 3. I did reviews for those three films. Go ahead and check them out. Be my guest, check them out. I did Phantasm 1, 2, and 3 reviews for all three of those movies. Phantasm 2 is my favorite, and then after that it'd be Phantasm 3. And did I have issues with those? Yeah. But it's really the issue that I've had with this series and the fact that, okay, I understand the director wants to have this mysterious, surreal essence of his material, so he doesn't give you definitive answers. You gotta plug in the answers yourself. Whatever you think of, that's his deal. That's what his plan is. And the thing of it is, though, this story, especially in this movie, goes fucking nowhere. And like I said, I've had issues in the past with, like, in Phantasm 2, they all have an ending that's not a conclusion. Like, these films never conclude. The ending is always, oh, it's not done yet. Wait for the next one. Oh, it's not done yet. Wait for the next one. Oh, it's not done yet. Wait for the next one. There is never a conclusion. Even though Phantasm 3, they had a conclusion. Either they shot it, but for some reason didn't put it on the DVD, or they didn't shoot it, but it was in the script, where they took what was left of the tall man, his sphere, because he doesn't like the cold, and he buried him in the ice. Kept him contained, prisoner, trapped, for as long as possible. That was actually a conclusion, but they didn't want to do that. Instead, at the end of Phantasm 3, you had Reggie Bannister with the spheres all in him. The little kid getting taken away, probably, eaten and killed. The character of Tim. Or, the disregard characters like in Phantasm 2. The whole goal of that was for Reggie and James LeGros to get this girl. They had to stop the tall man and to save this girl. Then you go to the beginning of Phantasm 2. What's the first thing that happens? Oh, the girl is killed and tall man's still going. So really, Phantasm 2, my favorite, was completely fucking pointless. That's fucking great. That is great. That is fucking excellent. But I love Phantasm 2, but like I said in the review, that was my issue with it. Phantasm 3, the issue is with the ending. But before I go into this film, just some trivia I think some might find interesting. Roger Avery, who co-wrote Pulp Fiction, he also wrote Silent Hill, which Silent Hill is a good-looking movie, but the script is a problem with that. But Roger Avery was a big fan of Phantasm, so he wrote this epic screenplay called Phantasm 1999 AD that took place in post-apocalyptic future. Bruce Campbell co-starred in it, and they couldn't get the financing. And then basically what Don Coscarelli apparently did was made this film as a precursor to a film called Phantasm's End. And that was going to use the same idea, and that would be, the actual ending to the series. And obviously, that didn't happen. And you don't get much answers in the audio commentary either, to be perfectly fucking honest. Because it's up to you! And then there was another thing. What was it? It was over here that I disagree with. After a very mixed fan reaction and some harsh criticism received in relation to Phantasm III, Don Coscarelli decided that he had already gone too far in the action comedy direction. I disagree with that. I don't understand why, like, if you're going to be harsh, why are you harsh on Phantasm 3? I don't think it was that bad of a movie. Like, the action comedy elements, I thought were entertaining. I thought it was solid. I don't understand that. People didn't like the girl, I guess Rocky, who had the nunchucks, and didn't like the kid character Tim and his horror version of Home Alone, I guess. I thought they were good. I thought that was entertaining. It made it fun. It made it, something happens. I don't understand what the problem was with Phantasm 3 in that aspect. I don't understand that. Go further in the action comedy direction. That'd be better in my eyes. Subsequently, he wanted to bring the saga back to its roots, crafting a low-budget sequel more focused in the horror and surrealist aspects of the story, in the vein of the first film. What this film is an excuse to use all the fucking deleted footage that he had in the first Phantasm, because the first Phantasm had a rough cut around 3 hours long. They cut half of that, and they say, oh, we have this footage. How do we put it into a movie? And then let's base some flimsy-ass fucking storyline around that. That's my feelings on it. In the original script for this, Tim's character, the kid, played by Kevin Connors in Phantasm 3, was savagely eaten alive by the dwarves at the beginning of the film, but budget constraints prevented the scene to never be filmed. Hence, he disappears. Like, he's pulled out, so I guess you assume that he's dead, because no one even mentions him. Like, Reggie doesn't go out and try to find him or anything. Like that would budget constraints, really? God. Here's a synopsis for the canceled Phantasm end script by Roger Avery. The year's 2012. Go figure. And there are only, well, this film was made in 1998, so I guess 2012 was a long time, but that's 2012. It's today. There are only 3 U.S. states left. Between New York and California is the wasteland known as the Plague Zone. Unfortunately, the evil Tall Man controls that area. Since many people are dead, the Tall Man is able to make thousands of dwarf slaves for his planet daily in the Mormon Mausoleum. Beside him, the other residents are badgers, human-like creatures that are infected by the Tall Man's blood. The dwarves and, of course, the Silver Spheres, all trying to break out of the barrier that contains them and into the real world. A group of high-tech troops are sent to destroy the red dimension where the Tall Man gets his power. Reggie follows so he can find Mike after a series of nightmares he had. Will they be able to finally destroy the Tall Man for good? I don't know. That's funny. In a 1998 interview, riot director Don Coscarelli stated Phantasm IV was being filmed just to make money out of the series. That I believe. I believe that. I really do believe that shit. 5.4, I'm sorry, give me a break. I know it's about 9 minutes in. Nothing happens in this movie. Yeah, at the beginning where the Tall Man just lets Reggie go. He has all the spheres, he just lets him go. And you're like, why would he do that? Why is the Tall Man just letting Reggie go and leaving? They even mention the commentary. And Angus Scrimm was honest. He's like, well, because we needed Reggie for the rest of the movie, and but that's what I mean. I don't think Don Coscarelli knows where the hell his story's going to. That's why he makes these endings. Like, he makes these endings, he's like, I don't know. And it's like, where are you going with this story? You don't have a fucking direction where the story's at? Let me just put some random shit, and then you guys fit it in. And then I could deal with it, but then when you get to Phantasm IV, where, even Don Coscarelli is saying he kind of made this in the fact that if this is the last, because you keep hearing Phantasm V, but that's just like how many times have you heard of Evil Dead 4 being made? But if that's the case, it's even shittier. Because the story literally has gone nowhere. It's like you don't take through 4 movies to go nowhere. So he lets Reggie go, and then it's like, well, maybe Reggie will lead him to Mike. That's bullshit. Just Tallman gets to Mike before Reggie does. Well before. Then it's like, well, the Tallman still wants to play. I'm like, what the fuck is the Tallman doing playing fucking games? Like, I don't understand. Why did you have him press up just to go, okay, we're going to play some more? Really? I hate that. I hate that aspect. That's shitty. You just gave away all your power from your hero. If the villain could just do that, let you go, and that's it, you just gave away power from your hero. You just made your hero a little bit more of a pussy. Like, wow, he could just do that, and the hero could do nothing about it. He's alive because the villain says, not today. You just sucked the power away from your hero. It's stupid. It just shows Don Coscarelli didn't know what the fuck he was doing when he ended Phantasm IV the way he did. Let alone making this movie. And all it is Mike, Michael Baldwin, driving a fucking hearse. You get some Star Wars bullshit where you might as well have the tall man say, come to the dark side. I want you to be one of us. Come to the dark side. He crashes his hearse, and the rest of the movie is Mike wandering around the fucking desert. He finds a gate. He goes in. Oh, he's back in time. And there's the tall man when he was just a regular guy called Jebediah Morningwood or whatever. And this really is nothing other than, okay, he was human, and he was a caretaker, and he built this thing. He went in. Something happened. He came out as a tall man. I'm like, you could get that from the fucking picture from fucking the first movie. I thought the tall man, like, every time they talk about the tall man, I thought he was an alien. And then even someone asked in the commentary, is like, so is Jebediah's body somewhere? Did they just possess him? And he's like, that's up to the audience to decide. I mean, the guy sounds like a nice guy. Don Coscarelli, he really does. But this is bullshit. It's one thing to be mysterious. It's another to say, we're not going to know anything about anything about anything about anything. Of anything and anything and anything. Of anything. And then nothing, and then nothing. Of anything, no, nothing. What does Reggie do? There's one moment he gets stopped by a cop, has a fight with the cop, and, like, pumps a shotgun, shoots through the hood to the zombie cop, puts a flare in the gas tank, runs, the car blows up. Then he meets a girl. They chit-chat. He wakes up. She's got, like, spheres in her tits. They try to tap Reggie. One's here, one's here. He ducks. They hit each other. Reggie grabs a sledgehammer, hits them. And then at the end, he gets his shotgun, his 4-barrel shotgun, shoots one or two dwarves. The only good part of the movie is when he shot the dwarf. It's on the hood of the car. He has a shotgun like this and just shoots them. Okay. Stabs one with a knife to the neck. Takes like a handgun, shoots one. And then the rest of the movie is just, oh, there's Mike, he went through, he's talked to Jebediah Morningside. Then you have the brother of Jody popping in there saying fucking gibberish. And I did listen, and really it was nothing to run home about. It's like, well, yeah, he created this, and he went through, and now it's the tall man. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock, I can see that. And then Jody is a bad guy? Like the brother that you introduced in Phantasm, like really, like you introduced this character, and for what? You introduced this character in Phantasm 3, in which like he's helping them out and he's helping them and he gets affected by the tall man, but yet the tall man doesn't tell him to do this and that. He like stops him, freezes him. But now it's like he's obviously helping Reggie and the Mike. Because at the beginning he tells Reggie, you gotta go south, you gotta go keep going, he really needs you. He talks to Mike, trying to help him. Then all of a sudden, like, he's a bad guy. And he, like, has no control. And then he gets killed and says, I died in the car for way back when. And I'm like, so, like, really, you do nothing with this character of Jody. You bring him back, Bill Thornberry. I liked him in the first movie. So you have this build-up in part 3, and, like, to what? To nothing. The guy accomplishes nothing. He doesn't help Mike at all. It really adds up to fucking nothing is my point. It adds to nothing. It's like you bring him back as another sphere, and then it adds to nothing. And Mike, before the Mike wanders around the desert, he tries to kill himself. Then we keep having scenes from the first movie, like when little Mike tried to hang the tall man, and does the dumbest fuck. Not only that, you made the kid in the first film a dumbass. No wonder this scene was cut. Did you see the young Mike? Like, they hung the tall man, and he's like, cut me down, cut me down. And he walks up the kid and goes, no, I won't. And he's like, if you cut me down, you'll never see me again. And the kid does it. The kid cuts the tall man down. So what does he do? Boy. And I'm like, you just made Mike is a dumb fucking dumbass. I didn't think of that in the first movie. Now this movie made me think, oh wow, the kid in the first movie is a fucking dumbass for doing that. Okay, this guy who tried to kill me did all this. Okay, he's telling the truth, because, no one can lie. And he cuts the motherfucker down. I'm like, and nothing happens in this fucking movie. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, well Mike, he gets Jedi powers. Because in part 3, he had the thing put into his head. He can now, like, he makes a fucking rock move. I'm like Luke Skywalker, Empire Strikes Back, really? Even more of the Star Wars bullshit? Is that what you're trying to do? Make this like Star Wars? I was waiting for the Tom to say, I am your father. I really would. And at the end, the tall man comes. Mike made this like handcrafted sort of his own sphere that hits the tall man, and really this would distract him because he rid this hearse up to blow up and burn the tall man. And lo and behold, another tall man comes out. I'm like, no shit. And he acts surprised. I'm like, they did in Phantasm 2. They killed the tall man in Phantasm 2 and another came in. No explanation as to why there's so many fucking tall men, and there never is. So there's pretty much an infinite number of tall men. That's why, you kill him, it's like, of course you're not going to buy he's dead. Because, you just easily, there's another tall man. It's kind of fucking lame, Reaches the Mike's head, pulls this thing out, walks away. Now, what the purpose of this, having this one sphere? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he's going to do with the sphere. I don't know if he's going to, if the tall man's going to shove it up his own ass. I don't know what the tall man's purpose was. I thought it was to have Mike turn into the tall man. I don't know if he's just going to go make another body of the tall man, I guess. Or like he's going to make a body of Mike. But if that's the case, why don't you just take Mike's body with you? I mean, he just takes the sphere. Again, I don't know what purpose he's going to do. Again, if he's going to make Mike the tall man, which is what they were leading it up to, why don't you just take the rest of Mike's body? But no, I guess you just don't take the sphere and, mate shift another Mike body. I don't fucking know. And it's the point where I don't even fucking care. Reggie, so Mike's dying, and Reggie's like, okay, I'm going to come back for you. He goes through the dimensional thing, and then it goes back to another fucking flashback from the first movie that, the cut footage, and it's Mike and Reggie, younger, going in the ice cream truck, driving off into blackness. And that's the end of the movie. I'm like, what the fuck? It's boring. It's never entertaining or scary or creepy. I know it's like, well, they're going back to the first film's roots, so it's not about action and comedy. I don't give a fuck. It's not effective. Especially after Phantasm 2 and 3, you built it up. Now you don't try to go back to the first one? And I'm sorry, they failed. The story... What do we know more about the story that we didn't know to begin with? Before Phantasm IV began, let's see. All we find out is that Mike gets mind powers, Jedi powers. The tall man was Jebediah Morningside or Morningwood. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck which it is. He built something, he went through, he came back as a tall man. And Jody is a bad guy. Like, he's holding Mike down. Not even, I guess now he can't fight back, which is like, why the fuck didn't the tall man do this before with the Jody character? Why didn't he do this before? Like, control Jody, hold him, grab him, knock him out. I don't know why. Tall man, I just couldn't do this before. He could just stop him, but actually controlling so that Jody is actually like holding him there. And it's like, that led to nothing, and the story went nowhere. It didn't progress. It went on a fucking standstill. Maybe even a little bit backwards. And it's a nothing movie. It's boring. It's slow paced. Nothing happens. It looks cheap. They just shoot out in the desert. A lot of the scenes are in fucking daylight. Once in a while, okay, a lot of the scenes are in daylight. They do nothing with this movie. Nothing. Nothing. It's never entertaining. It's never funny. It's never scary. It's never creepy. The story goes fucking nowhere. The ending is beyond anticlimactic. It's one of the most anticlimactic endings I have ever seen in a fucking movie. All this build up to what? And yeah, it's great that you killed that kid character from part 3. Just like that. Just like you did in Phantasm 2. Well, you did it at the beginning of Phantasm 3, I should say. Where you killed the girl from Phantasm 2, just like that. And it's like... It really makes me hate the series, because I'm like... So you build up the other 3 films to Phantasm 4, which nothing fucking happens. Nothing gets resolved. No, there are no fucking answers, even remotely so. There is no even remotely a centimeter of a conclusion. There's not even any excitement or scares or anything. Just, hey, we need to use some footage. We got some footage that we didn't show in the first movie. Let's fit that in this movie, and then let's craft this half-ass fucking story around it. We'll do that, and oh yeah, the tall man was human. And we'll show some scenes of that. And here's some random scenes, like Reggie Bannister's not into that much either. Again, he fights a zombie cop, that's not much. The girl with the titties, sphere, and then a little bit at the end. That's it. Very boring, very slow paced. You're really willing to fall asleep throughout this. The only reason I didn't is because I listened to the commentary, and even then, it didn't really save it. So yeah, I think this movie sucks. I think this movie blows. I think it's a piece of shit. I think it's a fucking horrible end to the Phantasm series. If they do Phantasm 5, one, they've been saying that just like Evil Dead 4. So who knows? Bubble Tap 2, remember they said they were going to do it? First with Bruce Campbell, then with Paul Giamatti. That hasn't happened yet, if ever. And even if they do Phantasm 5, it'll still probably be the same shitty low budget, in which nothing fucking happens, or nothing gets resolved, or there is no conclusion whatsoever. And it's to the point where I'm just tired of it. I really give up on the Phantasm series. After one movie, yes. Because this film is a fucking one of the most pointless fucking movies I have seen in a long time. It is completely pointless, useless, lifeless, boring, shitty sequels. It really is fucking horrible. And I'll say one more goddamn time. Why the fuck can't Reggie use that shotgun on a fucking sphere? Here's a bunch of spheres. Use a shotgun on them motherfuckers. Boom, boom. That could be a cool action scene. A bunch of spheres in a hallway. He's dodging. Boom, boom. Does that cost $10 million or whatever to make? I don't think so. God damn, fucking do that. You have a full barrel shotgun, you have them fuck up some spheres with it. But it really just shows this story was going nowhere from the start. And it went nowhere. And after 4 films, that's kind of offensive. That's kind of stupid. But that's just me being weird. So this film fucking sucks. Bottom line, my opinion. Later.